So the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 has been released, and with it comes a bunch of random Fazbear fan theories. So a lot of information has been revealed about what exactly we might be doing in this next game. We've already seen the upcoming main antagonist, which a lot of people are theorising is Golden Freddy. It's been withered away. Some say it's Golden Bonnie, which might make sense considering Scott Cawthon did consider Bonnie to be the scariest animatronic. However, a lot of our people are also saying that this is just a abomination, a mixture of all the other animatronics, yet somehow it ended up gold. Or whatever it is, it scares the hell out of me. Speaking of animatronics though, we can also see in the trailer that Bonnie, Freddy and Chica from the original game seem to be intact now, which would make sense considering Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a prequel, but let's not get into the whole timeline stuff. The point is, Freddy, Bonnie and Chica are alive, or at least we know Bonnie is for sure. If you look very closely at one point in the trailer, you can in fact see that Bonnie's eye does turn to face us. Is that maybe to scare us, maybe just creep us out a little, or could it actually have a more significant meaning? Perhaps that Bonnie is still going, or the other characters for that matter are as well. We don't know yet though. However, this does kind of contradict another piece of information. We can see very clearly on the Steam Greenlight page that at the very bottom of the description, it does say the attraction now has one animatronic. Now, if this were the case, that would mean that this strange Golden Freddy mutant creature, which somehow manages to still function, is the only enemy in the game, but surely that couldn't be something Scott Cawthon would do. Well, maybe it could be, because from the other screenshots we've seen, it appears you have a few more tasks to deal with rather than just checking the cameras. In one screenshot posted by Scott Cawthon, we see a monitor which has a number of different options on it, one of which says ventilation, the other is camera assistant and audio devices. Now in this screenshot, they all have the word error next to them, and underneath it says reboot all. Could it be possible that these systems fail regularly and you have to keep resetting them? I'm a little bit worried about ventilation. I don't really like the idea of running out of oxygen, if that's what it means. I mean, it could just mean the vents, which would be kind of pointless, unless maybe they crawl through the vents again. Perhaps they have an option to shut them off. We don't know. But then again, who is they? Because it could just be one animatronic. And if it's just one animatronic we need to keep an eye on, surely it can't be that difficult, right? Well, maybe not. We see a lot of other rooms. For example, one where Foxy, with a glow in his eye, is staring right at the camera. Well, with one of his eyes. In the corner, of course, we have our same old golden hell creature. And, of course, the little camera list in the bottom there. 10 cameras in total we're having, excluding the security office. What does seem quite interesting, though, is that in the top corner, we can still see our office, which is very different from the prior two games, which means that perhaps it doesn't sneak in. Perhaps this creature actually walks in. It allows you to see it. For what reason? Maybe to creep you out, to scare you. Perhaps that's what Scott's doing. But I want to pay a lot of attention to this window right behind it. Now, there's been a lot of theories about what this could be. Some say it might be a mirror, which would be especially horrifying, considering the fact there seems to be a door behind you almost. If that was the case, then you'd have to keep checking the mirror to see if anything was coming from behind you. We do also know there's a door on the left with some weird Freddy things staring at you through, which doesn't look too friendly. But if it was a mirror, surely the fan and the little plushy doll creature things would be reflected. Also, if you see it in the corner as well, there appears to be a little box of all faces and parts sticking out of it. The one that we did in fact see in Scott's website not too long ago. We now turn our attention to the part of the trailer that made you shit yourself. Not only is this jump scare noise really strange, it'll probably have a secret message in it if you play it backwards or slowly or whatever. But we also get some quite odd ideas about what this golden animatronic figure might actually do. Now, as you've noticed, and you pause it as the camera turns, he is already sticking his hand out at the start, but then kind of draws it back as he gets closer to you. Does that mean that maybe he doesn't hurt you, but just acts as a jump scare? I mean, he's scary enough as it is, believe me, without flipping killing me. So perhaps this guy doesn't even kill you, perhaps he builds our animatronics to do that for you, or maybe he does, we don't know. This is just a theory, of course, like every other Five Nights at Freddy's idea. Let's take a look at another screenshot. It seems to be midway through the jump scare when the golden demon, let's call him Peter, is just standing in your room, but this time the light around you is red. Now, we have already noticed there are a couple of green lights around in the trailer in different places behind the window mirror thing and in all sorts of other rooms. But why would they turn red? Now, if you look at the screen where there's a bunch of errors on the control panel, the lights aren't red there. So does that mean something else makes them turn red? Or perhaps they turn red when you run out of power? Well, that wouldn't make much sense because they're still on. But perhaps there is something you need to watch out for. Could be oxygen levels, who knows. I'm holding out for that. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is in space. If that happens, alright, my credit goes to me. But anyway, that's enough nightmare fuel for one episode. Until next time, everyone.